Hi everyone, welcome to the weekly review of my M1 Finance dividend portfolio. Balance on the account is $131,055.89. If you follow my journey every week, you will know right away the portfolio is down from what it was last week. But let's see what the past week's performance was. It was red, and there is one particular culprit why the balance is red. Okay, so portfolio is down $1,626.74 or 1.23%. Let's look at my holdings. VU was up barely 0.01% or $5.34. And then here's the culprit. SCHD did really bad this past week. It was down 2.47% or $1,632.08. So SCHD is definitely dragging the portfolio down. And we're going to see that when I look at the overall holdings as well. But I do still really love SCHD. I do still really think it's a solid dividend ETF that I want to keep in my portfolio. And I like the quarterly dividend payouts that I get for it. And I also like the fact that it doesn't have a lot of overlap with VU, because a lot of my other investments are all like 100% VU. Like for instance, my 401k plan is 100% invested in VU. So I do like the diversification of SCHD, but it's clearly not as growth focused as VU. So VU is just blowing it out of the waters from a performance standpoint. And again, we'll see that shortly. But still definitely want to keep SCHD in my portfolio and have no intentions of selling it. Last week I mentioned that I changed up the portfolio allocation. So now the future allocation will be 60% VU, 40% SCHD. And even then I was uncomfortable changing it. Originally it was 50-50, but now I think as I see that it's very clear VU is leaps and bounds ahead of SCHD, I might even bump this percentage up to 70% VU and 30% SCHD. But once I get close to 60%, I'll decide that. You see right now the portfolio is 50.8% VU and 49.1% SCHD. So I think once I get to maybe like 58% VU, then I'll reassess and see if I want to bump up that 60% to 70%. But still really love SCHD. Just had a really rough week, which is unfortunate because, that worked against me. But I still really do like the ETF. Let's go ahead and look at the deposits for the past week. So there was one, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, there was just one. On May 20th, I put in $100. It all went to VU and I got 0.20 shares. That's it, guys. I'm very transparent with you. Last week, I had $4,000 plus that I put in. This week, it was just $100 and that's it. No more moolah to invest in the portfolio. But the point is that I put in something every single week, no matter what the amount is. So if you look at the recap, the portfolio started out for the week at $132,582.63. I put in $100, and the market loss of $1,626.74, all from SCHD, is what brings the portfolio up to the current balance. If we go ahead and just look at the holdings, you'll see here what I mean by SCHD dragging the portfolio. So you see here overall the portfolio is up 7.63% or $9,286. This to me is very low from a percentage point of view. To me, this should be double digits, but for how large of a cost basis that I've put into the portfolio, yes, I'm expecting significantly more returns than this. But if we look at each of the individual holdings, VU is up 9.7% or $5,893.28. And SCHD is just up 5.56% or $3,392.72. So there's a huge difference in the return between SCHD and VU. And I know that can fluctuate week to week, etc. But yeah, this was really stark for me to see in terms of what the returns are for each of my ETFs. But again, still love SCHD. Definitely want to keep it in my portfolio, but I do think in the future, yes, I will be updating that allocation so that it's a lot more heavily invested in VU than SCHD. But continue watching these videos. Join me on the journey as we figure all of this out. And for the upcoming week, I have $125 set to trade. It's all going to go into VU because we all know I'm trying to build up this ETF balance as high as possible. And that is all of the update for this week. I'll catch you next week.